Alright, welcome aboard, the Executor of Supremacy. I will be doing my own personal review of the Polar Patriots Warbond, which I'm sure you already know has been very lackluster. So let's just hop into it and go from there. So everybody already knows that this Tenderizer is literally just a worse version of the default assault rifle that you get. Everybody's already made mention that it says high caliber, and it's supposed to have more stopping power. So what I will be doing is I'll also be reviewing the weapons from the Warbond. This will kind of like a rant video about what's going on, state of the game, my opinions, and how they can change it. So personally, yeah, this weapon is not that good. It's definitely below average, which is definitely what Arrowhead is going for. They want all guns to be average to below average, or 5 or 4. That's what they think is the baseline. And to all you people who think hamstringing the players is a good thing and a skill issue, all of you, you're just incels and perpetual childs, and nobody cares about you. So when I'm using it, I don't mind the Tenderizer's like handling or ergonomics. It feels nice to use. Feels good. However, is it good at Helldive difficulty or just level 7 and above? No. It's good at killing the chaff enemies, but I mean, I would assume that's what all weapons should be able to do. However, as soon as you get into Hive Guards, Brood Commanders, and especially Bile Spewers, this thing just does not cut it. You can waste a full clip on a Brood Commander's head, and that might not even kill him. Obviously, Hive Guard, since it doesn't even have medium armor pen, even though it's supposed to be, you know, high caliber with more stopping power, doesn't do medium armor pen, which is pretty pathetic. So what I would do to buff this rifle and make it actually good, even though I know buff is a satanic word to Arrowhead, they don't like buffs, they definitely like their nerfs, all about that nerfs, is that I would make it what the Liberator Penetrator was supposed to be. I would turn it into an absolute battle rifle. Get rid of the full auto, so you know, kind of a nerf there, but make it a 3 burst or 4 burst, 5 burst, whatever you want to do, Arrowhead, but make it a burst rifle with medium armor pen that does 80 damage. So essentially, the same damage as the Adjudicator has. I would personally buff the Adjudicator's damage up to 100. I think that would make this weapon way more viable. You know, the Adjudicator could be our version of like a 308 Scar. That would be really cool. And then the Tenderizer can be like a Halo battle rifle, 3 burst, 80 damage, you know, has that high damage, and it also, since you're getting rid of the full auto mode, it actually does do some stagger. That's what I would do to buff this rifle. Is it good right now? No, it's worse than the Liberator, which is hilarious. It's literally worse than the default assault rifle. It's worse than the Adjudicator, and I would even say it's better than the Liberator Penetrator. This gun is just the worst. It's one of the worst guns in the game. We'll talk about this one just in a bit, because as we move down through the Polar Warbond update, Polar Patriots, the next gun you're probably going to unlock is the Pummeler. And this one's actually pretty good. No lies, no jokes. I mean, you've probably already heard, but it is good. I already tested out on both bots and Terminids, and personally, I like the Pummeler better against the Terminids, not the bots. And I do run Riot Shield. I do run Ballistic Shield with my Juggernaut build, you know, with a Defender, but I actually prefer the Defender over the Pummeler against bots. I just really do. I don't know what it is, but I really just don't think the Pummeler's stagger is all that effective for the bots. I'd rather just take that extra damage, personally, and the higher rate of fire. But against the bugs, it's pretty good. It's not bad. I wouldn't say it's like best gun in game or anything like that, or S tier, but I would put it in the A range, you know, right next to the Defender, How the defender feels against the bots is how the pummeler feels against the Terminids. The best thing I like about the pummeler, yes, it's stagger. People already mentioned the stagger that it does. But what I really like it about is not just against stalkers, but especially against chargers. I like to use the railgun ever since they just received its most recent buff. And what I like to do with the pummeler now is just two-shot it in the leg, because you can do that now with the railgun, and then just blast it with the pummeler, and you will prevent the charger from running. It'll just get stuck in place. Which, I'll let you guys know right now, I guarantee Arrowhead's going to say that's a bug, and they are, because this gun's good. Arrowhead doesn't like when guns are good. Guns cannot, or weapons cannot be good in this game. I wouldn't doubt that it receives a nerf to its stagger, even though it is the only saving grace, with the exception of the grenade, which is completely ironic, which I'll just touch on in a bit, about this Warbond, because everything else is bad. This is good, and I wouldn't doubt if it gets some sort of nerf to its stagger, which is really sad. So now next is going to be the grenade, which I actually do like. It's actually been my favorite thing to take away from this update. And once again, specifically just against the Terminids. It is essentially, as people already previously mentioned, just a combination of the impact and Incendiary. It basically makes this Incendiary grenade obsolete. This is just better in every way than the regular Incendiary, which means this might receive a nerf. Watch out for that. You know, things can't be better than other things in this game. But this used to be my go-to against Terminids. This is my stun grenade is my go-to against bots. This has now become my go-to against the Terminids over the impact. Only thing I regret about not picking the impact anymore is you cannot just throw this at a group of bile speeders and blow them up in one go. It doesn't really do that. But what I really like about it is the bug breaches. When you're trying to run away, you can just throw it down. The bugs will crawl into it. It will kill them. I guarantee it. I actually do like the Incendiary grade. Incendiary is not bad. And now finally, by far and away, the worst. The Purifier. This thing is not good. It's not good in any way. It is essentially a combination of the Scorcher and the Plasma Punisher, and it's worse than both. It's worse than both. No point in taking it. I tried to use it against bugs. You will shoot 5 of these at the head of a Brood Commander, and it might not even die. It's okay against like the Scavengers and the Warriors and if the Hunters, if you can hit them, but its charge time it takes way too long, and then it does the same damage. Like I believe this is its maximum damage is 250. That's the Blitzer. Blitzer is by far and away better than this. Don't use this. It's not good. It definitely needs a buff. In my opinion, what they need to do is they need to decrease the amount of time it takes to charge up, which I think is a little over a second. You may not think it's not that bad, but there's like a huge learning curve to this weapon. For me personally, I don't know what my issue was with this gun, but I felt like I was reloading prematurely every time using this weapon. I would shoot it and I would think, oh, I must be out of ammo. Nope, you're not out of ammo. It just takes forever to shoot, and then when it hits, it doesn't do any damage. So I would personally think this thing has to get a damage increase for sure. There's no doubt about it. And then also decrease the charge time, because there has to be a benefit to charging a shot and then shooting it. Like, I would think it'd be more like the railgun. Like, you can keep charging it until it, boom, it blasts out. But it's not like that at all. This thing's not good. And then lastly, we have the Great Value Kroger brand version of the Deagle. We all thought that this was going to be good, and in all honesty, it's just an upgrade over the Peacemaker. That's all it really is. It's just a slightly better Peacemaker. And to anybody saying, well, this, it's still okay, it's not bad, you're not hating on it, and if we got a buff, it would make the Senator completely obsolete. No, I don't think it would make the Senator obsolete. I think the only thing this thing really needs, just give it medium armor pen. That's it. You don't gotta buff the damage. You don't gotta buff the handling. The handling is actually not too bad. Just give it medium armor pen. Because right now, this is not better than the Senator. This is definitely not better than the Grenade Pistol. Grenade Pistol is S tier. And this is not better than the Redeemer. Because the Redeemer is a much better version of what this is supposed to be. Because whenever you pull out the Redeemer, what you're trying to do, you're trying to get them off your back. You're just trying to... There's a hunter on you, you're reloading your primary, you just got to get it off your back. You just blast it. This is not that. You know, you have to watch your shots, you have to aim right. So right now, it's just a slightly better Peacemaker. It's worse than this, worse than this, worse than this. I think if it just had medium armor pen, this would be much better. It would put it right on par with the Senator. Just right on par. The Senator is still better. Still does more damage. But, well, I don't know. And then, so that's my review of the Polar Warbond, which is just absolute Polar Patriots Warbond. Just absolutely lackluster. Right now I'm just trying to get the last armor set, and obviously that brings me on to the next topic of why are these armor sets the same? Servo assisted, fortified, scout. These are now basically just cosmetic at this point. You know, I'm with everybody who thought that, oh, these are winter warrior. You know, if it's a winter warrior, oh man, that means in like winter climates, when a blizzard happens, it doesn't slow you down and you can see through it. Oh, well, what about, well, for the Kodiak, you know, it has spiky cleats. Well, when you don't slide on ice, you know, and you're not affected by the blizzard, it gave you some elemental benefit to using this, but no, they're just using the same armor passives. The helmets still have no, you know, benefit to them either. Where is the fire resistance? You know, we have arc we have arc resistance. You can bet on that. Look at that. Electrical conduit provides some arc damage resistance. How often is there any arc things in the game besides your own teammates or some douchebag who's throwing down a Tesla tower on an erratic exterminate mission? And to those saying, oh, well, this is for the Illuminate. The Illuminate, they're the ones that this is going to come into play. Well, where's the Illuminate at? You know, we're going on like, what, 3-4 months of this game being out? And we have no really good armor passives. I mean, the most obvious one to add into the game would be fire resistance. 95% fire resistance. I guarantee you that would be used a lot. And then, just to all the new people who are thinking about buying... Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, the texture files for this gun isn't even completed. Like, they've already admitted to that, which is... It just goes to show they're really not even caring anymore. So, the next part of my rant would be, which Warbond do you want to get? Or how are they now ranked? This is last. This new one, it's last. When what you get, it's last. The Democratic Detonation. The only thing that was really good, not only thing, it was technically two things. This was S tier. This is S tier. This was S tier. It's already received 2 nerfs, of course. This has received a somewhat buff, but like I said, it could still use that just 20 more damage, and I believe this weapon would be good. It would be good. That's all you have to do, just give it 100 damage. It would still have less than any of the DMRs. Make this like 308 version of the Scar. I think people would love it. And I remember trying this when it first came out. Nobody liked it. Haven't used it since. Apparently they fixed it with the most recent patch, where only the host was getting the damage over time. I really still don't see anybody using it, and I haven't gone back to touch it either. Crossbow received an unnecessary nerf for some reason. That made no sense. So that was good about the Democratic. The Cutting Edge, in hindsight, the Cutting Edge was probably one of the best, if not the best, Warbond. Because the Sickle was fantastic. And guess what? It's already received a nerf. It reduced its ammo capacity. And yeah, I get it. I wasn't really running out of ammo with the Sickle, but I thought that was kind of unique about it. But no, they want you to run out of ammo with the Sickle. This has gotten better. There are obviously some videos about people, you know, using this in very niche ways when it comes to Bile Titans. I still don't really use it. I think the Plasma Punisher, along with this, could definitely use what the Eruptor has. Just allow these guns, along with the Eruptor, to take out bug nests and factories or fabricators. That would provide so much utility and more reason to take this weapon. This is the whole reason why the best sidearm in the game is the grenade pistol. It has the most utility, by far. This gun is S tier easy because it has utility. I like to rock it with my ballistic shield with a defender. You know, I'm using the defender, I have the ballistic shield, I can take out things whenever I come across a scout walker. Switch to this, pop the scout walker right in the head, destroys the rider, even with the rider getting a buff to explosions, because, you know, that's a cheat. You can't be doing that in this game. You know, everything's supposed to be hard and difficult, according to Arrowhead. But that's what makes that one good. So Cutting Edge was actually really good. And then the Steeled Veterans, I mean, this one has had several buffs. I mean, this one just got a slight nerf to its damage. They buffed it all the way up to 300. Apparently that was too much. They put it down to 275. I still like the Jar. Jar is still good. You know, it still does stagger. What I find hilarious is the Jar has basically become what the Slugger used to be, because they nerfed the Slugger, and I'll touch up on their nerfs in just a bit. Incendiary, still good. This is still probably one of the worst weapons in the game right here. It's pretty sad. So yeah, if I was to rank them, I would say Cutting Edge, probably the best. Democratic Detonation, probably second. Steel Veterans, third. Polar Patriots, fourth. Those are for your newbies who are looking to, you know, think about getting a Warbond. You haven't gotten one yet. That's the order I would go. You get way more. You get a lot of good primaries in this one. You get a lot of two good utility weapons in both the Eruptor and the Grenade Pistol. The Jar is good. The Incendiary is fun to use. And then the Polar Patriots is easily the most lackluster Warbond they've released. And this just goes to show that they released these weapons in a pre-nerfed state. Arrowhead got tired of taking criticism for people complaining about the nerfs that were happening to this game. So what they do? Well, they basically said, well, we're going to release them in a poor state and we'll buff them afterwards to receive praise. Pretty pathetic move in my opinion, but that's it.